All right. Here we go. Stream has started. So let's get started today on fixing this retina board. This is a pretty nasty looking board. It's not like I shouldn't say too nasty a board, but it is definitely a nasty machine. So if I show you the inside of the machine, this is one Janet Jackson song from the 80s that I have stuck in my head right now. Can you guess which Janet Jackson song from the 80s I have stuck in my head? Look at that battery. Come on, look at that battery. Oh, puh. Looks like a bunch of little bugs went inside here and just puked all over it. All right, so let's see where we're at. Let's see what we get. So we're going to plug in a charger. Do we get a fan spin? And we're out of focus. Are we out of focus? Hello. No, we got face focus. Here. Yeah, it's tracking my face. That looks like it's tracking my face. I should charge my phone since from the stream that I did on the way here, I went from 80% to 38% battery. Okay, so I'm going to have to bring a couple of external batteries with me if I go to this right to repair thing. I lost 42% of my phone battery from the time that I started streaming to the time that I made it here, which means that with this phone, I probably have like an hour of streaming allowed. All right, let's see. USB charger. USB charge. I'm going to forget to charge this damn thing before I go. I surely have one in my desk drawer. Surely there's one in my desk drawer. Yeah, the phone is actually really hot, and it froze. It's not working. Go figure. Fucking cheap pizza. Hey, what do you know? It just fixed itself. This was dead. I walked out of the room, and now it's not dead. I can't argue with success. Okay. First thing to do is start charging this phone. That's pretty cool. So I took that board as an example of one that is not working, and now it is working for no good reason. All right, so let's grab a different one. That was very boring. Okay, what else do we have here? Something fun. It's got to be something fun. Let's see, we've got... All right, here we go. We've got a few phones. Look at that. When you just take the board out of the dirty machine, the thing just fixes itself. Is that not beautiful? I love when things fix themselves. That's beautiful. Audio cutting in and out. Yeah, shitty wireless transmitter. The Shure BLX series is really only good when you're right next to the thing. For anybody who's interested in buying wireless stuff, if you want to know why the Shure BLX series is much cheaper than everything else, the Sennheiser I have, I could go down the street and that thing still works. The Shure BLX 88, if I so much as walk to the front of the store, which is perfect line of sight, it dies. Okay. So, let's see. Orange light, no power, retina board. We'll start with this. Okay, we just need a DC in board to get started. I should replace that BLX 88. I'm glad that you brought up that the audio cuts out with the BLX 88, because if you didn't bring that up, I would have tried to use that when I go to when I go up to Nebraska for the Apple testimony on the right to repair bill. And using that would be a bad idea because it cuts out. I was just trying to avoid spending like, $600, $700 on all the Sennheiser stuff because I had 2 microphones I wanted to set up. So 2 microphones means 2 wireless transmitters and 2 wireless receivers. And I want them to be portable in case I use it with the phone, and that's, oh God, ugh. Expensive. Turn on the cock. Okay. Okay, the cock is turned on. And now you made me lose a screw. Yeah, well, I'm sure I have a spare somewhere. I think I'm having a stroke. Either that or the audio in video is jumping ahead. Huh. What's the megapixel in your microscope camera? It's 1080p. So I guess that's 2 megapixels, I think. Yeah, this whole setup is 1080p. I don't do 4K streaming. I don't have the bandwidth, the processor, or any of that good stuff for 4K. I'd rather have 1080p that looks good than these like 10 megapixel microscope cameras that only work at 5 frames a second. So let's see what we get. So multimeter is started. So we're going to check a few rails here. First rail. So the light is on, which means PP3V42 is present. You need PP3V42 for the 1-wire circuit. So I don't have to check PP3V42. I will check PP-bus G3 hot, and PP-bus G3 hot is the 12.56 volts it's supposed to be. Now, if I were to check, let's say, PP5ESO to see if we're getting into an SO state, it's 0.027 volts, which is not it. Lewis, what did you do on Valentine's Day? For Valentine's Day, I went to go see Wicked with Mark. That was Valentine's Day. Very good show. Mark from iPad Rehab was here. Mark took me on a date. What a nice guy. What a nice guy he is. Yeah, the cost on the... Okay, so let's see if there's anything obvious on this board that's nasty. So we have green stuff. Oh, you can't see. So we have green stuff up here. But this really has nothing to do with much of anything. Like, this is not really something I find important. Tarman says I cried alone on Valentine's Day. I do that every day but Valentine's Day, so don't feel too terrible. Hey, what do you know? A resistor by the SMC is green. Look at that green resistor by the SMC. So we're going to take note of that. We can remember that that's there, but we're going to keep looking to see what else on this board may be fucked. So we're just going to keep looking through the board. We're going to go through every section of this board, and we're going to find all the stuff that's fucked. So what else on here is fucked? So this section looks nice. U1950, which is typically destroyed. Let's see what that looks like. U1950, which typically is destroyed, looks pretty nice. And we look through, we look through, we look through. Now that's really close to the clock chip, so it makes me suspect that the clock chip may have gotten some water. This is a very important critical piece. I'm not really sure how critical this is. And let's check our JTAG connector, shall we? Because the JTAG is almost always guilty of some sort of crime. The JTAG here actually looks pretty nice. It looks like the dropped frame count keeps going up, so I'm not going to stream at 12 megabit per second because YouTube clearly can't handle that. I'm going to go down to 9. So the stream will stop for a second, but it will come right back, I promise. Okay, we're back up to 9 megabit per second here. Again, I really feel that this is a YouTube thing because if I check my bandwidth, I'm pretty sure that I would be getting at least 15 to 20 megabit on upload. Anyway, what we're going to do here is check out the board view and see what that resistor is for. Annex Delia says, Lewis, do you think Eli has mental issues? Why would you think that Eli has mental issues? Explain. Create an argument. Create an argument. One, two, three. All right, so it's 3 resistors in. So it's this one. And this resistor is for Thunderbolt sense. I mean, this is oh, this is nothing. This is useless. This is for nothing. This can't possibly have anything to do with my problem. That makes me so sad. Annex says, well, listen to him looking at his body. Talk is a question, not a statement. I think Eli has said that he believes he has Asperger's in older videos. So, I mean, I guess that's something that was openly admitted. Can't say I'm much better. I don't know. I think he's fell off into that deep end of doing YouTube for a living, which is the thing that he keeps trying to convince me to do. Which is the thing. Like for me, I don't take certain things as seriously because it's not my life. It's not a living. If it was, then that's where it gets scary. That's where it gets scary. But I don't think mental ill. That's crazy. My girlfriend says as long as you break down crying in the middle of an Apple store, they will do whatever for you because they can't handle the bad image. Works like a charm. Oh, I've had people cry in my store before. That's fine. That's the thing, because once you... Like, crying is... It's crying in some ways is kind of like terrorism. Like, once you just abandon all of your policies once... because of somebody crying in your store, then you're going to do it every single time. And then it's like, you know how the U.S. says, like, we do not bend to terrorism. It's like, you don't want it, don't bend to crying either. All right, so we had this area, which I believe is also for nothing important. Yeah, this is all for Thunderbolt. I mean, I don't care about Thunderbolt. This thing doesn't even turn on. And let's see, what is that stuff over to the left for? Little green leg that had the corrosion. So this over here, I'm guessing, is something related to the SSD from previous work. And yes, that is some type of sensor on SSD. And I don't care about that because, as I said, it doesn't turn on. Can't really care. Alright, so... Wait, I think I'm looking at the board schematic for the wrong board. Yeah, I am. I'm looking at the board schematic for the wrong board. You dumb mofo. Tell me I'm looking at the board schematic for the wrong board. Alright, let's see. Nope, right board. I'm losing it. That is so that is what I think it is. Okay, so we're going to check a couple of things. Let's just go through all the different power rails here and see which rail is missing and what signal is missing. I'm 99% sure that we're missing PP5ES4 and that PM Sleep S4L is missing. Like 99% of the time, that's what this winds up being. But let's just go through and see if that's the case here, which it is, but I'm just going to measure and go through. But it is, but just in case it's something else. But it is, but just in case it's something else. But it is. Okay, so we measured PP by G3 hot already. This is definitely this is always there. Mofo. Paul! God damn it. Where's my window? Okay. See, that's the thing. I can Alt-Tab over to get it back, but I'm afraid of Alt-Tabbing on stream. I'm going to Alt-Tab over to the wrong thing. Ah, shit. Okay, task manager. I give up. Close the board view. Gonna close the board view software and reopen. Okay. $12.56. PPVRTC G3 hot. Let's check that one next. Remember, PPDC in has to be there. If the charger voltage wasn't there, nothing else would be. PP3V42 has to be there because we were getting a light. Actually, are we getting a light anymore? No, we're not. Oh, we are, but the light went off. Okay, I'm going to keep that in mind, since we did have corrosion near the SMC. Let's check PPVRTC. And while I'm here, I'm going to check all these lines that are pulled up by PPVRTC. The PCH intruder, RTC resets, this RTC reset, and intervermin. Intervermin. I'm guessing that's like the computer's version of, pest control or something. So this will tell me if PPVRTC is there and if the pull-ups are there working at the same time. So what's interesting is that the pull-up resistors are, something's fucked here. Because see, I'm getting 0.395 volts. That's 0.395 volts. On the other side of the resistor, I have 2.2. So as you guys may notice, my PPVRTC voltage is going up and down between 3.3 and 2.2. And 3.3 and 2.2, and 3.3 and 2.2, and 2.5 and 2.6 and 2.4. Aha! I gotcha. All right, now let's see what's going on at the source. So this is where PPVRTC G3 hot is created. If you didn't know that, you can simply go through the schematic and go PPVRTC G3 hot. And this is going to be used for a couple of different things. It pulls up these signals, so RTC reset, when low, it will put this chip into reset mode, meaning it's not turning on. If you don't understand what reset means, take your desktop computer, push the reset button, and hold it down. If you hold down the reset button in your desktop computer, it doesn't do anything. It's on, but it's just not doing anything, no brain. Same thing is going to be true here. Now you have, and this thing, intruder L, means that the case has been intruded when the signal is low. I don't believe MacBooks use that feature of the Intel ME region at all. And there's intervermin, which I think is their way of saying a mouse is in the computer. I don't know. I don't fucking know what all these things stand for. But if you want to look it up, you can find Intel's documentation for the Series 9 PCH. Now U1900 over here, this shoots out. See, V out. PPVRTC, voltage out, PPVRTC, meaning this chip, U1900, creates it. So now before we blame U1900, we're not going to want to blame U1900 immediately. What we want to do is we want to see if this chip has a steady power supply coming into it. So on the VDD pin, you're going to see PP3V3S5, RS3SO sysclock gen, and also PP3V3S5 going to here, and PP3V42 going to here. So pins 2, 5, and 13 are the pins that provide this chip with the power that it's going to need to turn on and do things. So let's check if it is receiving what it's supposed to on input. So let's go over to U1900 and check pins 2, 5, and 13. U1900, pin 2, pin 5, pin 13. So let's go. Let's get over there and see what we get. So we have pin 2, 3.3 steady. Pin 5. Am I touching the right pin? 3.3 steady. And pin 13. 3.4 steady. All right, so let's go over what's going on here. Let's just go back over to the schematic. Now, U1900 is receiving voltage required to turn it on. So it is being powered. Check. U1900 is not putting out PPV-RTCG3 hot steadily. It's going up, down, up, down. So the voltage is going up and down on output, but the voltage on input is consistent, which means whatever is in the middle, meaning U1900, is to blame. So let's replace U1900 and see what happens from there. So let's just make sure I have a chip to replace it with. Beautiful donor board. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now this also makes sense because let's put this in context here. The water went over here, right? So the water went over here. So it only makes sense that if water was over here, that maybe water was over here. And while this, the first impact area, is not critical, this is critical. A thunderbolt sensor, who cares? The clock circuit very much so matters and is very, very easily breakable. It's very easy to break, so that's, yeah. All right, so let's take a look at some of these questions. Where do you get these spare chips from? As I just showed you, the donor boards that I have to my side, they have a lot of stuff on them. And it looks like I talk louder, so it looks like compression is a little too high here. All right, let's edit this a little so it's fine. Yeah, hopefully that's less limiting. Check. All right, so let's get the board ready for rework here. And we're gonna just put a tiny bit of flux over the chip. Tiny little, you know, standard conservative amount of flux right there. Want to be careful not to burn this nice 512 megabyte cache chip here for the camera, because if we do, then the NSA won't be able to monitor us properly. That would be a fucking crying shame. Did you teach yourself electronics? Yes. Hi, Lewis. I'm a surgeon from Switzerland and want to know what is your opinion on the fact that surgery in the U.S. costs about 5 times the amount in Switzerland. We have way too much bureaucracy. Much of it is created by insurance companies. So you know, insurance companies say, "Oh no, we're a large company. We can negotiate better rates from the doctors." That's a bunch of shit. I used to work at an insurance company, and they spent their entire day torturing the doctors, which caused the doctors to spend lots of money hiring people that did nothing but deal with the annoying insurance companies. And guess who pays for that in the end? Guess. The end consumer. You bet your ass it's the end consumer. It's always the end consumer. So sad. Don't you want to add aesthetic to your streams? Well, am I not aesthetic? Are you saying that I'm not aesthetic? No, I'm not aesthetic. But I would like to add aesthetic to my streams. I shave every day. I shower. I go to the gym. Do you know how much work I put into being aesthetic for these streams? Aesthetic. 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 Nobody loves me. Why didn't you keep the JVZ station? I did. Jason uses it. He deserves it. Armstrong Strongifiable says I liked the beard. It itched way too much. The beard itched. I couldn't stand that. I'm starting a PC repair business next month. Good idea, bad idea. You can get a really nice PC laptop for $479. Do you really want to be in the business of convincing people that it's worth giving you money rather than just getting another one? That's going to be a tough sell, man. That's going to be a tough sell. Try if you get more viewers by being a beatnik. I bet if I were good looking, I'd have more viewers. But such is life. You do what you can with what's available to you. And no aesthetics for me. You can attract more viewers by making yourself more attractive to people's eyes. It burns. It burns. If I wanted to be told I wasn't aesthetic by other women, I'd be at a bar right now. So the JBC soldering stations are good, but the desoldering gun sucks in my opinion. It gets clogged up pretty fast. What do you use? I used to use a Hacko 808, but that was a long time ago. That was a long time ago. I don't use that anymore because I have no need for a desoldering station. But when I had one, that was what I used. What? Spinning fan, baby. Spinning fan. You want aesthetic? You want aesthetic? Here, I'm going to do one stream of just this. Look at that. Look at that. Spinning fan. Next on the list. Your thoughts on Chromebooks? I've only used one once. If you just need to, internet access, basic email and word processing and you're broke, it's probably a good thing, but what's up with this one? Oh, I need a DC inboard. Let's see, DC inboard. DC inboard cable. Don't make me get up. Don't make me get up. Please don't make me get up. Please be in the little bin. Are you there? Oh, yeah. I hit the jackpot. I don't have to get up. Do you need a... No. No, don't get that stuck in my head. Don't do to me what I do to you. Only I'm allowed to do that. I'm allowed to torture you with annoying advertisements. You're not allowed to do that to me. That's not fair. I built myself a fume extractor from a cat air blower, ATX supply, and a portable cooler. Do you think that active carbon foam from kitchen hood is sufficient? I have no idea. You're asking the wrong person. Not sure. Now, I don't have a fan, so in order to tell if the fan is spinning, I'm going to check for CPU vCore. That'll be my sign that this is done. All right, let's see. What do we get on this one? Is CPU vCore present? If it is, I'm going to assume it's turning on. No CPU vCore. CPU vCore is 0 volts. All right, so we're going to go through, make a couple of measurements, take a look at the board, see what's going on, and go from there. Now, PP bus G3 hot. PP bus G3 aesthetic. PP bus G3 aesthetic is 8.16 volts, which means the SMC is not turning on. PP3 V42 is 3.4 volts. Now remember, the PP bus G3 hot voltage, when you see that it's 2 to 3% lower than what it's supposed to be, like 12.22, 12.20 volts on a 15 or 13 inch non-air, or you see that it's 8.1 volts instead of 8.4 on an air, that means that the SMC is not telling the ISL chip to raise the voltage. Yet we do get a light. So let's take a look at the circuit that creates PP bus G3 aesthetic, and we will go from there. So let's open up the schematic for the 820-3437 board. Aren't you excited? Gonna make this board great again. Okay. So the SMC talks to U7100. U7100 creates PP bus G3 hot. This chip was responsible for turning the 16 volts from the charger into 8.5 volts for PP bus G3 hot. This transistor will do switching. So it's going to switch on and off. So you have 16, 0, 16, 0, 16, and 0. And then through the inductor, and with the capacitors to ground, that bunch of pulses is going to turn, instead of 16 and 0 over and over, it'll get evened out to 8.5 volts. Now, the SMC is going to talk to this chip on this SM bus SMC5 G3 SDA data line. So let's see if we can figure out why it is we're not getting the right voltage on PP bus G3 hot. So there's a couple of things here. Now, the first thing is SMC reset. The SMC is going to be in reset mode when you first turn on the computer. Because when you first plug in the charger or the battery, what's going to happen is that PP3V42, the voltage that powers the SMC, is not going to be stable. That voltage needs to stabilize before the SMC can turn on and work. If you try to turn on the SMC while the voltage powering the SMC is unstable, then you're going to get a mess. It's not going to work. It's going to crash. So what this chip does is it keeps SMC reset L low for about a quarter of a second and then allows it to go back up once the PP3V42 is stable. So let's take a look at the U5100 area and go from there. So U5100 is over here. And it looks like C and B. So let's see on pin 5. We're going to look at pin 5 of that chip. Which one's 5? Here we go. That one's pin 5. We're going to take a look at pin 5 of the chip and go from there. Let's see if we have SMC reset. Yeah, I'm getting old. It's Friday night. I'm supposed to want to party. And I just want to fall asleep. You have weird work hours. Why? Well, what is weird about the work hours that I have? Is it that I'm working at night? Is it that I work at random times? Is it that I work on the weekend? What would you say is odd? Is it that I work while I'm yawning? SMC reset is 3.3 volts. Lame. All right, now we're going to check that SMC data line. Is it shorted to ground? So that actually goes to the battery, so that's going to be on the 5th pin. 3.4 volts. That can't be shorted to ground. Let's see, what is the diode mode measurement to ground there? So diode mode measures voltage drops. See, when I touch them together, 0 voltage drop. So you can check voltage drop to ground at certain points to get an answer. Now it seems that the SMC is just not communicating. Yeah, 8.16. So the SMC, there's something fucked with the SMC. You know what I'm thinking? Does Paul Daniels here to know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking reflow. Because maybe there's some corrosion under it that I'm missing. Have you tried streaming on Twitch? Yes. I get 6 to 8 viewers and I don't get paid. I like the fact that YouTube pays me. Again, is 40 to 60 bucks a day for streaming and doing videos a lot of money? No. Is 40 to 60 bucks a day more than 0? Yes. That's the thing. You should always look for the best. You should always run with the best offer you have at the time. Right now, I can choose between Twitch, which will give me $0, or I could choose YouTube, which will give me $40 to $60. YouTube will give me 40 to 60 bucks a day to stream. And Twitch gives me nothing. So you may be aware of importance of fume extraction, importance of health stuff, so thanks. I'm glad. And also, good on you for trying to make a healthy setup for soldering. That's a really good thing. Have you ever thought about buying your own building instead of paying rent in the future? Dude, I'm well off. Am I well off? Yes. Am I well off enough that I'm just going to buy a building in Manhattan? No. It's Saturday night. Yes, it is. Well, I don't get what I'm supposed to do on Saturday night. Like, I go to bars and there's all these people that are yelling and screaming and laughing at one another, but they're not laughing at funny jokes and they're not screaming over anything that's important, and I really don't understand what I'm supposed to find fun. Like at 18, when I got into a bar without getting carded, I didn't get it. When I was 21, I didn't get it. I'm 28 and I don't get it, and I'm very close to being old enough that I'm very close to being too old to go into those places, so that means I've just completely skipped over. I've completely skipped over the age bracket where that's supposed to be a thing, and I have no idea what the hell is supposed to be fun about it. Hello, little SMC. I don't think you can buy a building in New York that easily. You can if you have a bunch of money, but like a lot more money. Again, people think like I've mentioned on streams the idea of a 6-figure income, and then but then people are like, why don't you buy a building? And I think people just don't have they don't like making 6 figures in New York City does not mean that you're rich. That just means that you're like middle class. Very soon that'll mean that you're lower middle class. I mean, How much time does an average person need to be able to be comfortable fixing boards? Oh, well, that really depends on the person. I'm very slow at learning, so it took me a really long time. There are some people that catch on within just, like I have a friend that got out of prison. He didn't know anything about this. After like 2 afternoons, 8 hours, he was pretty much up to speed. And then there are people like me where it takes 6 months to a year to 2 years to even get remotely good at spotting anything. So it always depends on the person, I'd say. All right, we gotta move the mouse here so that I can scroll. I'm gonna scroll through chat while while reflowing in SMC. Paul is busy making software that tells you what the problem is by telepathy. He'd better be. The L train is going to give you more cancer than solder. I would agree with you there. I would like to be out of where I live right now before the L train stops working. This shit still hasn't melted yet. You're kidding. There we go. Just need a little push. Now I push it down, compress the balls a little bit, and bam. Okay, now we're going to cool it off with an anti-static paper towel and some alcohol. Robert says your right arm has to be more straight when you're going to do the bench press, otherwise you'll get more problems with your elbow. I was dead on that set. I tried to record myself doing 7 or 8 reps with 225, and the Motorola falls off, and that was supposed to be my last set. The Motorola froze. So then Jess is like, oh, you probably didn't do that. And it's like, no. So I went to record it, and then that was the next set, and that was a fail. That was like, that. I was already supposed to be done. Give me a break. That bar weighs 70 pounds more than I do. All right, so let's see what we get now. So now when we plug in the charger, we get dead. So we had a green light before, and now we have no green light, and the voltage is still 8.15 volts, which means that SMC that I was using is most likely dead. That SMC was probably dying, and by reflowing it, I actually killed it. So we took a board that had some partial, it was dead, but partially dead, and we've confirmed, we've made it fully dead. Celebrate. Yay! Yay! If somebody told me I'd be able to bench 225 7 times even with my arm losing balance and touch the chest at any point in my life, I would just laugh at them. Like, I would have just, like, I remember trying to lift 95 pounds. Yeah, 95 pounds. It was a 25-pound weight on each side of the bar. And I was 17. I went to go for 1 rep, and the bar fell on me. The weights fell off. Humiliation ensued. That was... I think I was about 100 pounds back then. Most condos in New York City go for $2 million plus, and that's for a crappy condo. Is your friend that got out of prison Jessa by any chance? No, that's not Jessa. You push down on the SMC, bad move. I do that in every SMC reflow. There is a reason to that. There is a rhyme and a reason to that. And needless to say, we have no shorted balls. Look at my beautiful balls. Would you get YouTube copyright strike if you play live radio in the background? Yeah, that's one thing I gotta say I miss about not streaming is that I used to play music all the time at work and I can't on the speakers anymore. It's not the same using headphones. Does iPad Rehab take place in the same building as you? iPad Rehab is about 300 miles north of here. Look at how aesthetic my balls are. Look at this. I have the most aesthetic balls on YouTube, I gotta say. See? This is the stream the way it's supposed to be. Cock and balls. Cock. So this is my cock. I'm just gonna make sure that it's lit up. And these are my balls. Now I'm gonna melt my balls with my cock in the background. And there we go. Ha. Who says I don't have fun on Friday night? Saturday night. Same difference. Now, I think I have a pre-balled SMC here. I have to give Jason credit for that. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jason. I'm going to clean my balls here. Wouldn't want to get crotch rot now. Look at how pretty those pads are. Ain't they pretty? Aren't those some pretty, pretty pads? Alright, so there's a sticker here, and it says 820-3437, and there's no SMC on it. God damn it. There is no SMC there. Oh, that sucks. That is horseshit. Oh, wait, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not, because Jason put it in a bag. Okay, I take it back. He actually organized it, and he put it into a bin that he fucking labeled. What? This is insane. Dude. Thank you, Jason. This is the nicest thing anybody's ever done for me. I hope that someday all of you have somebody in your life that pre-balls your SMCs for you. Really. I just like my heart is warming right now. I mean, I really hope that you understand the joy of having somebody in your life that balls your SMC for you. Because when you find that, there's just no going back. There's a hashtag raise for Justin. I'm sure he'll be very happy about that. I'm sure Justin, wherever he is and whoever he works for. Miles Blakely says, Lewis, I hope this SMC doesn't work solely because you didn't have to reball it. Miles, just get the fuck off of my stream. Hit X. GTFO. GTFO. No, this is going to work because I'm not the one who reballed it. Tarman, you should ban him. Hey, look, it just settled into place. Now we're going to try to make it dance. Dance, 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 dance. All right, we have 5 seconds of dancing. That should be good. How do you know if a chip is positioned properly? Oh, that's a good question. That's a very good question. So I can tell if the chip is positioned properly when it's a BGA chip, because when I tap down on the top of it, it should only move. See, if the chip is going to move because it's not soldered to the board, right? However, the surface tension of the balls to the pads are such so that when I'm tapping the chip and I'm just moving it back and forth, the chip itself should not move back and forth a distance greater than the diameter of the individual ball. So that's how I know that it's making good contact. That's how I know that it's aligned. Okay, now we're going to plug this in and see if we get a light. What do we get? Miles, I fucking hate you. Miles, Miles, Miles. You fucking prick. All right, next up. I'm just going to put it in the ultrasonic cleaner and pray that it works. Fuck you, Miles. Miles, you're a piece of shit. I just thought you should know that. Miles, you're a piece of shit. It's important to me that you know that. Okay, let's check SMC reset. Miles, have I told you that you're a piece of shit? All right. We're going to ultrasonic this and see if it works after that. Let's see if the crest can fix what Miles broke. It doesn't have it does have a JTAG. Hey, it has a burn JTAG. What? Get off of here. Get the fuck off of here. Die. Let's do to the JTAG connector what I want to do to Miles. Live chat has not kept his comments, so people who are watching the stream after the fact are not going to have any understanding as to why I'm cursing him so much. They're just going to think I'm being a dick without reason. Miles, I was kidding. Come back. Come back, Miles. Oh. I'm making you the scapegoat. Why can't Apple include two SMCs on their laptop so one can be a backup when the other fails? Because when one fails, it's often going to short something to ground, and and if both SMCs are using the same data lines, then there you go. Miles, we love you. We're sorry. Hey, we get a light again. Was this the JTAG all along and not the SMC? No, 8.55 volts. Okay. No V-core, though. Shit. Wait, no, V-core. We don't have AXG V-core because there's no screen attached. So it works. Ladies and gentlemen, I just wasted an SMC on a board that needed a JTAG connector. This SMC is most likely fine. All this board needed this entire time was the JTAG connector removed. Hey, that's what you get with live video. You get to see all my mistakes. So now I have this maybe working, maybe not working SMC that I'm going to toss in the drawer. And Jason's going to look in that drawer and wonder why there's an SMC in there with no balls on it when he remembers balling an SMC. And, well, and I'm going to tell him that's the consequence of being employed by an idiot. Poor Jason. Poor guy. He deserves better. He definitely deserves better. Oh man, the skills. Yeah, that was such a waste. That was such a waste. All right, we're gonna ultrasonic these two boards. Make them look nice and pretty, and then get out of here. JTAG, always the JTAG. Always the JTAG. This is Miles' fault, though. I'm pretty sure he knew that this was just the JTAG all along. I know in some way this is his fault. We can still blame him. We can still have a scapegoat. We can still have a scapegoat. Louis, do you have any tips for enjoying your own company? I don't understand the question. Robots are idiot unless you teach them. People are idiots unless you teach them. Phase 1, get broken board. Phase 2, question mark. Phase 3, burrito. We're very close to phase 3 here. I do want to get my Saturday night burrito. Louis, did you switch your stream to gaming category? I think that was when I tried to stream to YouTube using the YouTube gaming app. That was what did it. When I didn't know that I could stream from YouTube Live because I had read some stupid blog post that said that I should use YouTube gaming app. So once I figured out that I could stream from YouTube Live and that I didn't need to use the YouTube gaming app, I forgot to change the genre back. Into the crest you go. What do we have here? Do you eat anything other than burritos? Mostly no. Plants are often smarter than humans. That's probably true. Every time I plug in my MacBook, the orange light comes on. How can I make the light turn blue? That's a good question. How do you keep your energy up? I watch Tucker Carlson. Watching Tucker Carlson will help you keep your energy up. I like to be high energy. I'm no Jeb. High energy, high energy. Eat good food, exercise, and always have a goal in mind. Always be working towards a goal. What happens to your business when logic board components become smaller? I buy a house in San Diego and retire. And I sit back and do nothing. I get a swing in my backyard. Maybe a VKR station or something. Start climbing mountains. Travesty says you can't cuck the tuck. Indeed you cannot. You cannot cuck the tuck. Let's see. Tarman says, you hear Jeb is rerunning in 2020? Yes, that's exactly what we need. More people from the Bush family in having their hands on military power. That's a great idea. Did you read that George Takei did a Twitter poll, RE Trump versus fake news, and he deleted it because he didn't like the results? I didn't, but that wouldn't surprise me. George Takei is just... Like, I get it. I feel bad for what happened to you in the past. I really, really do. That was fucked up and it shouldn't happen again. But you're kind of using that as, yeah, you're really pushing it with that to like just complain every single day and take like the smallest things out of context and blah. I wouldn't be surprised if George Takei did that. I wouldn't be surprised if he took a Twitter poll that he did and deleted it because he didn't like the results. Again, I would want to Google that to make sure it's actually true rather than trust what I read in a YouTube live chat. No offense, but still. Lewis, repairing is your passion? No, making money so that I can live my life is my passion. Not being broke is my passion. Not being broke is my passion. How many attempts do you deem a board dead and return it to the customer? Wrong question. It's more about phone calls. Once I start getting phone calls from the customer, I stop trying. If I get an angry phone call from a customer, then even if that's just the first phone call, I stop trying. I don't really base it on how many attempts I've made so much as how much time are they giving me. So like as soon as people start calling, where's my stuff? Is it done yet? Is it done yet? That's just when I give up. Like I usually have the 3 strikes and you're out rule. So once you've called 3 times, you're out. If I fix the board before you've called 3 times, it's fixed. And if you call and you like sound all pissy and blah blah blah, then it's like, I'm sorry, unfortunately it appears your board is unfixable. Have you tried the Apple Store? That's why I like having the Apple Store around. You need somebody to refer pissy people to. Without the Apple Store, you have nobody to refer pissy people to. Have you screamed at a customer? I can't remember ever screaming at a customer, honestly. Because like once you've let a customer, that's the thing. You can say, you can be honest. You can be completely. You don't have to scream. Once you let people like once you let people get you to a point where you're screaming, then you've failed. You've failed. You can't let you can't allow other people to make you angry. You can't let other people affect how you feel in that light. You shouldn't. How do you rate the aesthetics of Apple boards? Are you registered on Megan's list? I don't know what that is. Before going to San Diego, what was your dream favorite place you had in mind to retire? I didn't have a place in mind to retire, actually. Where is Grandpa Jessa? Jessa is a grandma, not a grandpa, so that is the wrong question to ask. Do you ever visit Allentown? I visited the prison in Allentown once. Are you worried about repairs not being ESD safe? I touch this. I touch other stuff that is grounded. I'm grounded. I go to therapy. I practice philosophy. I touch things that are grounded. That's really as grounded as you're going to get. YouTube had me unsubbed from you today. Not happy about that. Yeah, I don't really invest in much as YouTube as a platform. I'm completely with Eli, the computer guy there. YouTube as a platform is like, They give you a lot of stuff for free, but there's no loyalty. I have no loyalty to doing YouTube as a living the same way YouTube has no loyalty to me or my channel. Okay, we're just going to flip the boards over. Let's just flip the board over. Clean the other side. What is your favorite YouTube channel? I keep that a secret. I keep that a secret. What do you like about San Diego? Meaning, what made you go there and want to buy a house there? I like the mountains. I like the scenery. I like the weather. I like the fact that if people drop something on the floor, they just pick it up. Like there's just this basic sense of human decency where I went that I don't. That New York doesn't have, and most likely never will. What do you think about Apple removing iCloud activation lock checker? I don't really care one way or the other. Uh, do you watch vloggers? I do not watch vloggers. No. I watch people that discuss topics, like economic topics, philosophy topics, that type of stuff. The stuff that I'm interested in. But I don't watch vloggers. I guess technically that is vlogging. I mean, they are just. But I don't watch vloggers like, today I ate a banana. Look at me eat the banana. Oh, look, I'm buying the banana. Oh, look, let's say hello to the person that's giving me the banana. It's like, just fuck all that. Everything gets nasty when you work with flux. My favorite game is saying hi, etc. to people I pass on the sidewalk. People in New York freak the hell out when you talk to them. That's because every time somebody talks to you, they're trying to rip you off or ask for money or ask for money or rip you off or ask for money or sell you something. And who the hell wants anything to do with all that garbage? And like in the beginning, you may actually give $1 or $2, but then you realize that somebody else comes by and asks you. And then you realize if you give $1 to everybody that asks you for $1, that within a day or two, you'll just go bankrupt. Ew. The flux is everywhere here. The questions are becoming more and more cancer. Soon it will be time to turn off the stream and go. We're just going to clean those boards. I'll show you what they look like when they're done, and then we'll be out of here. Tarman is doing an excellent job at getting rid of the cancer. Look at my clean desk. Okay. I'm going to take the boards and put them in a nice little alcohol bath. filter before I put them in the oven to help get rid of the larger bits of alcohol. Lewis, when I have turned DC voltage measurement turned on my multimeter, showed value should be stable 0 or it can be above 0. It should be 0 or 0.001 or something close to 0. Would you use Takarmo microscope for soldering, or is it shit without 3D view? I can't use any of those. I need to actually look into this thing. Every time I try to use this, even with the high-end camera, and I look at the screen, it just doesn't work. I lose all my hand-eye coordination. And maybe it'll be different for you, but it isn't. But I can't. For some, it drives me nuts. How long is a typical vacation per year in the United States? Here in Sweden, it's 5 weeks. I'm required to give employees 2 weeks of paid vacation per year, and that's all. Any way for me to ship just my motherboard to you? I promise I'm not a noob. No. 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 I'm done with people saying they're going to sue me and you fucked up my stuff and you destroyed it. No. Or you didn't fix it. I'm finally charged. No. Whole thing or not taking it. Just no. No. The board-only repairs are always a nightmare. That's just bad. Damn it, I just watched a bit of Tucker Carlson. I was positively surprised. Dude, he is high energy, man. Whether or not you agree with him, he is an amazing, amazing troll. Tucker Carlson is quality trolling, like just really good quality trolling. And he's so good at pissing people off with that nice little smile on his face as he does it. Very casual at pissing people off. Just great stuff. We're going to clean up the office while I'm waiting for the boards to dry. Now we're going to put the boards in the oven at 250 Fahrenheit. This is not a solder melting temperature. This is purely just to get rid of any of the alcohol or liquid that may be still left on the board. I don't know what the hell this is for. Oh, I steal things from you. You're an excellent board to steal things from. You're another excellent board to take things from. You haven't been raped yet. Okay. You should definitely go through the cleaner. What mic or earbuds are you using? I use the Idiomatic ER4P. The mic is the D-Fine 88, but I want to go back to my DPA 4065, which means getting a connector for it. I wish my bro weren't torrenting games because I'm buffering at 144p. Kick him off the internet. How dare he interrupt what you're doing? Who the fuck does he think he is? Is there a reason you shoot at such a high frame rate? 60 is average. 120, 180, 200, 240, those are sports frame rates. 60 is just normal. It's more lifelike. What is this thing? Oh, you need an SMC. And you're from 2010. Boo. Boo. No. Hey, Jason. I got a job for you. Yeah, I don't want to find an SMC to a 2010. That's a big waste of time. Okay, we're close to having a perfectly clean desk here. It's got this thing, a little dual mic preamp that doesn't have level meters on it. If any of you have recommendations for an application for Android that does the following, this would be great. A, show level meters in the background. B, playback audio that's heard through the microphone through the headphones. So the YouTube Live application doesn't allow me to hear what the microphone hears. And I want to set it up when I go to this event where what I can do is I can take the microphone and like the shotgun microphone, put it on a little mic stand, and just bring it up to wherever the people are talking. And I want to be able to hear what they hear just to make sure that it's working. Now this little mic preamp thing is decent, but it doesn't allow me to hear what it's amplifying. But it will only play back whatever is being played through the headphone jack on the phone. So I need some way to hear some way to monitor whatever that's coming into the mic in jack. That's one of the things on my to-do list to figure out by March 9th. Yeah, we got a nice clean desk. What do we have in chat? 29.97 is for standard TV. Movies are 24. No. You're thinking of like 1987 or something. No, it's 2017. 60 frames per second is standard. Do you do iPad board repairs? Only data recovery. Not to fix them. Only data recovery. You can buy iPads for like $300, so it's... What do you think about PewDiePie? Refer to yesterday's stream. Fast forward to 23 minutes in on yesterday's stream for my thoughts on that. Do you ever catch your employees watching your streams on the job? Do they want nothing to do with this whole YouTube thing? Do you let your employees take naps? What the fuck? Who pays people to sleep? Will you do a collab with Linus again in the future? It depends. I'm not, again, like the edited stuff just doesn't work for me. I don't. It works for everybody else. But I'm not, like Like I like a life. I like natural conversations, interactions, and stuff like that. Like anything that's planned. I thought it would be a decent idea because it was planned, but it didn't. Do you repair your own computers or phones, or buy new ones when they fail? 90% of the time, I buy new ones, or I fix them really poorly. Like in my amplifier right here, right? So my amplifier has 4 fuses for the positive and negative rails for each channel, right? So one of my fuses blew. So what did I do? I took two 40 gauge wires and I soldered it to each side of the fuse. It's like I mean I fix stuff all day, and I try to do a good job for the customers. I try to do an honest, good job for the customers all day. But when it comes to my stuff, it's like I don't want to do this shit anymore, man. I've been doing this all day. So everything gets like I either buy new, or just some sort of hack, crappy, shitty fix for my own stuff, because I don't want to put time into it. Damn, I have a whole streak of gray hair. What is this? What is this? Ah, I'm aging. By the way, if you ask the same question more than twice within one page, I purposely don't answer it just as a protest. Just so you know. Like, I have the window open this big, so if I see a question appear twice in this window, I just stop answering whatever that person asked. Alright, so I don't know why, but that's incredibly triggering. Send it to iPad Rehab, then you can call them and scream if it broke. Look at that pretty missing J tag. I don't think I left this board in long enough to get rid of the flux by the clock chip. Yeah, that's actually... Oh well. How do you feel about YouTubers like Jay's 2 Cents, who all they talk about is water cooling and GPUs over and over again? Don't viewers get tired of that shit? I don't get it. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Who are these people? Who are these people? Jay's 2 Cents. Social Blade. I'm not cool. I don't know who any of these people are. Okay, so he gets more views than me, and he has 3 times the subscribers that I do. So, I would say that it's probably not boring, because he has a lot more viewership than I do. So it seems like he gets 4 million to 7 million views a month. And this month, for some reason, he only has 1.1. I think that's a glitch with YouTube, with Social Blade. And if we go look at my channel, so he's got an average of 4 to 6 million views a month. And I have 1 million, average 1 million. And yeah, this is a glitch. So the last month is a glitch. So he has about 6 times the views that I do. So his stuff, that stuff can't be boring because it gets watched a lot more than what I want. I don't watch channels on how to build a computer because it's like, I mean, I've just found, I just got over building computers like once I would turn 19 or 20 or so. Like when I first was like, I'm going to build it exactly the way I want it. It's going to be amazingly fast. It's going to be amazingly quiet. It's not going to make a noise. It's going to look great. And it's going to be a great price. And it's going to boot in 10 seconds and all that shit. I was so excited about it. And then I built it, and it was like, I don't want to do that again. But look, it works. It's great. And then the next time I needed a computer, it's like, oh, man, I don't want to pick up a fucking screwdriver again. Fuck that. Like, I don't have a computer at home because I gave Jason my PC 3000 machine. It's been 2 weeks. It's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old. Maybe that's the gray hair. Maybe that's the gray hair talking. But, like, when I get home, I don't want to pick up a screwdriver, you know? Like, I just don't. It's just, yeah. It's boring. Do competitors ever send you boards to repair, like when they have too many jobs on? No. Competitors that know what they're doing don't. It's just the places that don't fix boards that send that stuff in. Oh, crap. I left a board in the cleaner. Mm-hmm. These channels cover more than liquid cooling. They do many reviews of new hardware. For me, here's what, like for CPUs, for graphics chips and all that shit, here's all I care about. What does it cost and what does it get on these benchmarks? Like, I know everybody hates Tom's Hardware and AND Tech. I know everybody hates those websites. They're evil. They're the man, but like, it's so easy. It's just bars. It's like, okay, I look at all the bars, and then I look at the prices of all the different things in the bars, and then I just find the point at which the performance went up a lot, but the price went up a little, and I just pick that one. I know, I'm a noob, I'm a pleb, I'm whatever, but I use Tom's Hardware and Anantech. I don't care about somebody's, like, there's no opinions when it comes to this stuff, and a lot of this stuff. It's like, it's not, it's just how fast is it, what does it cost, does it break if you use it for more than a month? I don't care what the box looks like. I don't care what the wrapping looks like. I don't care what the fucking, if this heatsink has like bright red on it or LEDs that say, that say fatality. I don't care. It's like, what does it cost? Does it fucking work? And what is the benchmark that it gets? I don't care about the rest. It's like, so, I mean, it's not anything I have against review channels for PC hardware. It's just, I don't care. There's just not so much subjective element to it. Like, how this laptop keyboard feels, subjective element. How is the build quality of the laptop, subjective element. How does the speaker sound when listening to this music versus that, subjective element. Like, but a graphics card, it's, if it works, it's how much does it cost? What temperature does it run at with the stock heatsink? Maybe even if anybody even uses the stock heatsink. And what does it get on all these different benchmarks? It's like I almost don't even want opinion injected into these things. I just want to see a number. I used to care about overclocking for certain things. I mean, like there were certain competitive things I was doing with the CPU where in order to get something done before something else, which I'm not going to say what it was, I needed a faster CPU. So that was back when I would actually have my 2.1 gigahertz E6400 Allendale processor running at 4 gigahertz with my water cooling loop with the radiator that I kept outside the window of my apartment. So I'd shut the window, I'd put pillows in the side of the window, and I have the little 2 quarter-inch tubes for the water cooling going outside. And, it was like 7 degrees outside in New York City winter, so I could run 4 gigahertz, and my load temperatures were like 27 Celsius. But I mean, now it's like, even if I overclock that, even if the CPU is 20% faster, who cares? Like, it's just not going to make any difference, Like, it's not going to make the difference between, I could have encoded that video in 10 minutes, but instead it's going to take 3 hours to render, so I might as well go home. Like, the 20% over difference that I will get from an overclock, unless you're in some sort of competitive endeavor, it's just never something I'm going to notice, so I just don't care overclocking it at all. Like, at all. It's just no interest to me. Any of that little 20%, like it's never going to make the difference between, I'd like to start the upload of this video before I go to sleep, but it's taking 10 hours to render, so I can't. It's not like if I overclock, my render time on that video will go from 10 hours to like 2 minutes. It'll just go from 10 hours to like 8 hours or something, Boring. And there's enough shit in this office that doesn't work. I'm not going to deal with a computer where like I'm doing a live stream and it crashes in the middle of it and I lose all the video. No way in hell I'm overclocking. Do you think Lenovo's still sliding down in their build quality, i.e. the P50 bezel fatigue cracking fiasco? Yes, I do. I have a T520 here that didn't crack until I dropped it off a ladder several times. So, yeah, Lenovo is meh. How do you manage idiot customers? I refer them elsewhere. It depends. If it's like an argumentative idiot, I just usually refer elsewhere. If it's a nice idiot, then I explain to them their options, I explain to them what I think would be best, and then I charge them. Why don't you get a Dell Latitude? I guess I don't need one. I don't really need a workstation class laptop. And when I do, when I look at the workstations available, they all make me sad. I want a track point. I want the ability to charge it from an external battery or swap the battery without opening the bottom. I want to have a high resolution screen. I want my cake and I want to eat it too. I want everything. If I wind up actually doing any live stream with a camera rather than with a phone when I visit there, I was thinking of doing it from a computer, but I can't do it from this Dell because that thing is just too weak. It's a piece of shit. It's a $479 Dell. Now, when I was looking at the higher end machines, here's the fucked up part. Dell has this little portable battery that you can use to recharge the machine, but it doesn't work with their higher end models. If I use one of their higher end models to do live streaming from, the battery is going to last for less than an hour and I'll be dead, which really screws me. And I can't use a portable battery on the higher end machines. So the things where I would need a workstation, I can't really use a workstation. What is your thoughts on Sager and Clevo laptops? Clevo has a lot of shitty hinges. Would you repair old computers if you were provided schematics and parts? No. Thing is, once you fix primary problem, then secondary problem will present, and you'll have to warranty that, then third, and fourth, and fifth, and sixth. Avoid. Look at the E6440 and E6540. Can I buy an actual external battery pack for those laptops? That's what I want. Because like if I'm actually streaming in somewhere in the middle of nowhere, I need to be able to keep going. Let's see, E6540 Dell external battery. Because Dell has this little power companion thing, but I'm not sure if it'll work with that model. They have this thing. I was going to buy a bunch of this. I was going to pick up a bunch of this thing. It'll be funny if I walk in there and they say you're not allowed to have any. If I walk in there and like, you're not allowed to record in here. I'm like, I'm hiding my phone. Your new female viewer, my girlfriend likes what you do. Awesome. What do you think about Asus laptop? Should I buy one? Mostly junk. As much as I crap on Lenovo, they're still built way better than most of the cheap Asus stuff. All the Asus stuff I saw, it's built the same way everything else is. Like the DC jacks that fall apart, the DC jacks fall apart, the hinges fall apart, they all just kind of crumble. else is there? Yeah, I'm very close to having a clean office. This is great. What do you think about Dell XPS laptops? I like Jason's. Again, it's a shitty keyboard for a $1,500 laptop, but still. I'm not a big fan of the keyboard on it. Like, I would expect a more old school Lenovo-esque keyboard on something that's that expensive. I'm okay with the mediocre PC keyboard on a cheap machine. I just don't like it on an expensive one is all. But it seems like a good machine. Seems solid. Lewis, just buy a news van with a satellite dish on top. Sure. Sure, start donating. Absolutely. I'll buy one next week. You know, there is a donate button, I think, on the main channel page. If you want me to buy a news van, you know, just... I'm a capitalist. If you want me to have a news van for it, I'll get a news van. Oh, this is the board that got fucked up by the dumbass. I don't even know why I'm wasting ultrasonic fluid on this. I guess it'll be the last ultrasonic. What's budget? It cost more to fix my Hacko F801 than a new Quick 861. I have to say, I liked the Hacko 801 in the beginning, but as time went on, I realized it was just not that powerful. Like after I used the JBC, and it's like, oh, you mean I can take an SMC off in less than 10 minutes, you say? Okay. Now every time I use the Hacko, it's just lame. It's boring and underpowered. Like the Weller is much stronger than the 801. The JBC is much stronger than the 801. And the Weller costs about as much as the Hacko FR801 cost when it was new. Any plans on doing Dota streaming again? I don't have a computer at home. I have a Dell laptop. That Dell laptop at 1080p gets probably 5 frames a second, maybe 2 frames a second. I need a computer. I don't have a computer. And I'm cheap, so I haven't bought a computer. The only reason I would have a computer for home is for Dota. That's the only reason I would be buying that. That and I guess video editing, which I don't do because I don't edit video. Damn, I'm about to have a clean desk. Well, close to a clean desk. This is pretty cool. My ISL chips came in. This is great. I can start selling these again. I thought I was out of ISL chips. Beautiful. ISL 6259. If you go to mailin.repair and you click on tools and parts, you'll see that we have the ISL chips for sale. I might even lower the price tonight just because I'm that nice a guy. I might even lower the price. What do you think about those messed up Spider-Man and Elsa toy videos with hundreds of millions of views on YouTube? I'm in the wrong business. I'm in the wrong business. Are you talking about the videos where the kid likes the toy, so he watches the video with the toy 1,000,000 times over, and the advertisers are stupid enough to actually pay for advertising that is being watched by 2-year-olds? Yeah, I'm familiar with that stuff. I'm really in the wrong business. I mean, like all this, like, look, I want to do videos on things that matter. Like, fuck that. I want to teach people repair, and I don't want to talk about philosophy and economics and blah. No, that's wrong. What you want to do is you want to show little 3-year-old kids playing with crap that they bought at Toys R Us. That's what you want to do. You want to become a millionaire. That's what you do. And damn. Measure the workspace for us. I'll bet it's less than 2.5 feet. Why not? I got the ultrasonic going. Here, let me get him tape measure. Let's measure things on stream. What should I measure first? The desk? Or the cock? If you couldn't repair electronics anymore, what would you do? Retire. Retire. No, I mean the videos where the adults dress up as characters and do shit that seems fetish. I haven't seen those, and guess what? I never will. Okay, work area. So from here to here, I've got 26 inches. From here to here, I have 7 inches. If I were to measure all the way to the monitor, which I never use because the keyboard's in the way, I have 18 inches. But if I measure to this area, which is the realistic area that I actually use, it's 7 inches. If I look at this little desk over here, I've got maybe 27 inches of usable space, and then back here, because there's always crap in the desk, another 13 inches in length, 27 in width. And the cock. My cock is 6 inches long and 3 inches wide. Let's see. Just to make sure this is correct. So we're at the top of the cock right here. So I'm going to put the tape measure at the top of my cock, and you'll see that we're at exactly 6 inches. And a good 3 inches in width. You know you can get a keyboard without a numpad that is smaller. Yeah, but then I have to buy a new keyboard. And I already bought this keyboard, so I don't want to spend money on a new keyboard. This is pretty small. The only keyboard small are the ones where when you type, you can't feel that you've hit a key, and I don't like those keyboards. So I use this one. All right, we're just about ready to get out of here. Yeah, I'm going to be leaving with a perfectly clean desk. This board, there's no need to dry because it's totally dead and there's layers ripped off of it, so that's a waste. Let's see, what number are you? Beautiful desk. Did I take the right number? I did not. There we go. All right, so that's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. Hopefully you learned something about the clock circuit, troubleshooting power rails. And as always, thank you very much to the people who've bought stuff on Amazon via using the links below. When you do that, we do get a commission, and thank you. Much appreciated. That's it for today. Time to go out and use that money from the commissions to buy alcohol. I would love to say that, you know, if we get money from that and thank you for the commissions, we're going to, you know, put it into making good, hardcore, great content, making new... No, I'm just going to put it into alcohol. So that's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. Alcohol and maybe, I don't know, maybe some other fun stuff.